Carlos King, y'all's favorite blogger, and his favorite housewife, Kandi Burruss Tucker. Listen, the drama continues. Y'all know Kandi Burruss said that, Mr. Carlos, former producer for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, stole and sold the Escape life story to TV One and tricked Mama Joyce into an interview that was supposedly about a girl group documentary, but it was really for the Escape biopic to gather information for the Escape biopic. All right. So that's that. Y'all know. So Carlos King, he's a podcaster now. He's a blogger now. He's all over YouTubes. He's a YouTuber now. And in every video, he takes the opportunity to throw jabs and be shady and spew out these subliminals towards Kandi Burruss and her Tucker. And finally, last night, he's on this press run with Martell Hall. I believe they are promoting the Love and Marriage Huntsville. How was that show, by the way? For those of you who watch it. And he finally addresses it. He did Dish Nation, and I'm kind of shocked, but not really, that Tamar Braxton did not, bring it up, seeming as though she has a beef with Kandi. Right? And seeming as though Carlos King, Kandi has issues with him personally, professionally. She went onto her live chat and said, I don't with Carlos King. Right? But let Carlos King tell it. We get along. All right, so listen. Tamar did not bring it up, but Big Tigger and Shamia did. All right. So we got to watch this. It's really interesting.
On with her.
Okay.
Listen.
Somebody who might have asserted that their story was taken by you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's a story out there with you and Kandi don't get along because...
I do get along with her.
Okay.
Oh.
Listen, I think...
All right, so we got to dissect that. First off, you can tell by Shamia's face that Shamia coached Big Tigger into asking that question, in my personal opinion. Just look at her face.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, somebody who might have asserted that their story was taken by you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's a story out there with...
Y'all see Shamia's face? I feel like Shamia coached Tigger. Because Shamia know the tea. Shamia is a real good friends with Kandi, right? And I feel like coming from Messy Mia, the question would have came out maybe aggressive or negative or judgmental. Secondly, what I noticed so far is the fact that he's acting like Portia. Who said that? Who said that? What is you talking about? And you know exactly what the hell we talking about. Tigger goes, it's been asserted that you sold somebody's life story or something to that effect. And then Carlos King goes, what are you talking about? When Tigger says that him and Kandi don't get along, he kind of snaps and it gets like real attitude-like. And he goes, we do get along. First off, we do get along.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, there's a story
I don't know who you're talking about.
You and Kandi don't get along because...
I do get along with her.
Okay.
Listen, I think at the end of the day, I will say this. She's somebody who I have always been a fan of, and I will continue to be a fan of, personally and professionally, right? And at the end of the day, when you have someone's phone number and there's a miscommunication or misinformation that's out there, instead of continuing to discuss misinformation, I would prefer to speak to that person directly. And at the end of the day, I haven't spoken about it because it's not for public fodder. That's how I'm operating in my integrity. So I believe that at one point in time, we will have a conversation. And once we have the conversation one-on-one, then I would be more than happy to come on Big Tigger Show and Shamessi about everything else.
Not Shamessi. I mean, Messi does know Messi. Okay, so again, I need to dissect this. He goes, first off, we do get along.
Taken by you.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, there's a story out there with you and Kandi don't get along because...
I do get along with her.
Okay.
Listen.
Now, you're probably wondering, what is he talking about? I do get along with her. Technically, Carlos King is right? Because even though Candy's on the internet talking about I don't with Carlos King, technically, when they see each other, they do get along. And I think he's referring to this moment right here. Is this it? Wait. Is this it? Yeah. I think he's referring to this moment. Hold on. He's referring to this moment. Yeah, that's the She by Sheree fashion show like a year ago. And notice how his hair right here is different. Okay, look at his hair right here. Why is it saying lock, unlock? Okay, look at Carlos's hair. It's very different from the hair that's right here. It's like right here he has a, like right here is like bald, and then right here is like hairline. Okay, anyways. So that was at the She by Sheree fashion show. They're hugging, and so these photos came about after Kandi told us the story about escaping, you know, TV One. So when we saw them hugging and stuff like that, we were all confused, like, why would they be out hugging at the She by Sheree fashion show? Well, because these photos were filmed before, they were taken before Freddie O and Sheree and everybody else is coming together against Kandi. It's a concerted effort to make Kandi look crazy. So Sheree made sure to add in the photos of Carlos hugging Kandi onto her reel. I think that was definitely on purpose. Sheree was being messy. We see each other. We see each other, Sheree. But with that being said, so I think that's what Carlos is talking about. We do get along because technically, yeah, they hug when they see each other. But I also do believe that, you know, he rushed Kandi, meaning he saw her and, you know, rushed her, and she had no option but to hug him back, child, because it was just so fast and so forceful and so aggressive, allegedly. That's my theory. All right. So then he says, let's see.
I think at the end of the day, I will say this. She's somebody who I have always been a fan of, and I will continue to be a fan of personally and professionally, right? And at the end of the day, when you have someone's phone number and there's a miscommunication or misinformation that's out there, instead of continuing to discuss misinformation.
Okay, so this is him basically calling Kandi a liar by saying that Kandi is discussing misinformation, talking about he sold and stole the life story to TV One. So what is the definition of misinformation? False or inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive. So Carlos is calling Kandi a liar. You have to read between the lines. You have to. He's calling Kandi a liar. That, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive. When people spread misinformation, that is called lying. You are intentionally trying to deceive the audience. Carlos says that Kandi is deceiving her audience. All right.
I would prefer to speak to that person directly. And at the end of the day, I haven't spoken about it because it's not for public fodder. That's how I operate.
So he says that this situation is not for public fodder. That's how I operate. But why is it that everything else is for public fodder? Literally everything else. You talk about everything else. You talk about all the behind the scenes tea. But you don't talk about this. This is the behind the scenes tea. You are the king of reality television. So listen, this is what we really want to know about. I kind of feel like there's nothing to say to us. The reason why he hasn't come onto his platform to basically explain the story is because what Kandi said, I think, was true, in my opinion, allegedly. Moving right along.
And my integrity. So I believe that at one point in time, we will have a conversation. And once we have the conversation one-on-one, then I would be more than happy to come on Big Ticket Show and Shamessi to talk about everything else.
Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the entire situation in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.